Hello, beautiful people. April Mac here. And I haven't quite got my camera set up. Sorry, I should have done that first, shouldn't I? For those watching on replay, hashtag replay so I know you were here. I haven't got my spot set up. So bear with me a second. The way how to not to start a live is to not have yourself set up. So I wanted to come on. I feel like this could be a wild download. I don't know. Probably not the best time to come on, but I've had a few sessions with clients today and some stuff came up and I thought I need to get on here and share it with you. So say hi if you're watching live, and if you're coming on replay, hashtag replay. So I want to talk about why something that you're selling maybe at the moment isn't potentially selling, some reasons why that might be. And I have done a live on this before, but I just feel like it's time to do another one. So, and I come at this from a place of my own experience with putting stuff out there and it not going to plan. So I'll share from that place and also from the point of view of some of the people that I work with. So the first question I've got for you, I've got a series of questions to ask you if what you're selling isn't selling. The first is, are you selling it? So, hey Janie, nice to see you, love. It's been a while. So are you actually selling? That's the first question. So many times I hear people saying, oh, I'm not making the money that I want. Oh, I'm not getting the clients I want. I'm like, yeah, well, what are you selling at the moment? And they're like, crickets. They're not selling. So if you're in business, your job is to sell. And presumably you're going to use Facebook or social media to do that. Otherwise, you're probably not on here. And if that's your channel, are you selling on that channel and are you doing it consistently? So I'm not talking about, you have to do a certain number of lives a day or a certain number of posts a day. But would it be clear to anyone landing on your page and presumably your personal page as well as your business page, what it is that you are selling at the moment? Now, for me, I love using launching as a strategy to sell more and to make it clear to people. That doesn't, when I'm launching I'm focusing on one of my services and I'm making it really clear that that's what I'm selling. But it doesn't mean I can't sell other stuff. So often when I'm launching a program, like, I've been launching Goddess and I'm now launching another thing at the moment called Unshakable. It doesn't mean that my other services aren't on offer, and quite often my launch will lead to people wanting my other services. They might not want what I'm launching, they might still say want one-on-one coaching, but by the mere fact that I'm getting on and I'm getting in front of people, I'm getting myself out there, I'm front of mind for people. Oh, there's April Mac again. Oh, what's she doing now? Oh, yeah, I don't want that, but I'll look out for her next thing. So you're keeping front of mind for people if you're selling. So launching is a beautiful strategy for doing that. If you want to know more about that, I will be sharing more about launching. I'll probably do another live on here soon about that because it's really changed the way that I do business and it's really helped me grow my business. If you don't know what I mean by launching, it really just means that you're focused on one of your things and you go for a period of time where you just talk about that. So you're kind of launching that thing. So that's my first question is, are you actually selling anything? Second question is, if you are selling something, are you banging on enough about it? So sorry for any American viewers. Bang on in Australia just means going on about it, saying it over and over and over. So I know bang in America has a different connotation, but I can't think of another way of saying it. It's just what comes out naturally. So Facebook won't show all of your posts to every single one of your followers. Far from it. It will show just a very small percentage, and it all depends on how people engage with it as to how many people will actually get to see it. So the more engaging posts you can write about what it is you're selling that are going to get people talking and in conversation with you, then the more that will get in front of people. So you need to think about writing lots of posts throughout your launch period. I'm going to assume that you're going with me on the whole launch process. And you need to come at it from lots of different angles because people will see one that resonates, but they won't see them all. So when I say bang on, it means you've got to say it over and over and over. Tell everyone. And you might think, oh, but surely they know by now. But I've been 3 weeks into a launch where some of my avid followers still don't know what I'm launching because they might have missed a post, or just, you know, somehow didn't get put in front of them, or they were too busy doing something else and they didn't see it. So you will never overdo what you're selling, I don't believe. That's my personal opinion. It's what I've found to be true. And I just think if people aren't interested in what I'm selling, they can just scroll past me. That's fine. So I'm not offending anyone by putting it out there. And if I am, they'll unfollow me. They're not probably my people. So the way that we write, you know, engaging posts is, you know, you don't necessarily write it as a sales post. Like, it's not like, hey, I'm selling this, do you want to buy it? It's not like that. It's like, create posts that speak to their soul, make them feel something, make them want to engage with you and comment by sharing your experiences and your knowledge and your wisdom that's going to tap into that thing that you're selling. So it's not just, hey, I'm selling a thing, do you want to buy this? It's a, you know, it's engaging, you know. You've got to make it, so it's social media that we're using, so make it social, make it something that people want to read, you know. It's got to have value. The posts that you use to sell what it is you're selling, they should be valuable to people. They should teach them something, or help them see something they couldn't see without it. You know, help them feel something that they might not have felt, or help them get an aha moment. So you're giving away free value that also lets people know, oh, that's something I want to go deeper on. I'm going to see what else it is that she's offering. Does that make sense? So please feel free to comment. I'm seeing a couple of comments. Rave on. That's right, Janie, that's a good one. Instead of bang on, you can rave on about it. Perfect. I've got to remember that one for next time. Next question I've got for you is, whatever it is you're selling, are you jazzed about it? Jazzed meaning, are you excited? Is it just like pouring out of you? Are you super proud of it? Are you just, you know, so keen to get it out into the world? And if you're not, then that might be what's holding you back from making the sales, because you need to have your energy behind the thing that you're offering. You need to be 100% on board with it, proud of it, excited about it. Especially if you're doing a long launch, like a couple of weeks launch, you want to have that level of excitement and be jazzed about it, and almost not care if you don't sell it. So as an example, my recent launch, Goddess, I was so freaking excited about it, so jazzed about it, that the posts were just pouring out of me. They were easy to write. They were just flowing, and I almost didn't care. Of course, I wanted people in the program, but I almost didn't care. I thought, if no one signs up for it, I have still personally got so much value out of it, and it just felt so aligned. So if you can get to that level of alignment, it's going to make the process of selling what you're here to sell so much easier, so much more meaningful to you, as well as to the people that you're here to work with. And so if you're not jazzed about it, there's a couple of deeper questions that you might want to consider. Is, are you not jazzed about it because you're sick of doing it? Like, maybe it's something you've offered over and over and it just hasn't really taken off, and you're a bit over it, you've lost your enthusiasm for it. And if that's the case, I would suggest getting the thing that it is you're selling and almost like taking it on a date. This is something my coach has taught me to do. She's like, take it on a date, ask it, does it want to be reinvented? Is it, you know, coming through in the way that, you know, is it that thing anymore, or has it morphed, and should you rename it, rebadge it, tweak it? You know, what does it want to be? Right, for those of you who think this sounds really weird, then you'll get used to it, or you won't. You'll just go, yeah, you're another. But that's, you know, for me, my programs come through as divine inspiration. And so they're not actually mine, so to speak. They come through and they tell me what they want to be, kind of thing. You know, it just sort of all forms in like a download. So if I'm launching something and it doesn't feel right and I'm not feeling jazzed about it, then that's a clear signal to me that I've either got to tweak it, or that I'm on the wrong track with it. So first of all, take it on a date, see what it wants to be. If you're still not feeling it, if you still haven't got the excitement and jazz for it, it's possible that there's something else that you need to be selling. And this has been coming up for a couple of my clients where they're not as jazzed about the thing that they've been selling because their next level of what they're here to do in the world is coming through. And that's been my journey as well, where I launched a program called Soul-Led Entrepreneur, and I wasn't that excited about it, and I found it like really hard to come up with the content, to come up with the posts. And it was because, and it wasn't selling, it was because I wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing. And, you know, through that not succeeding in the way that I'd wanted it to, not selling enough spots, it forced me to do Goddess, which I was in resistance to. That's my next program, which has already started. That other one had to kind of fail almost for me to then finally get my act together and go, okay, I'm going to do Goddess. I'm just going to stop putting it off and I'm going to just do it. And once I did that, like I was wobbly to start with, but then once I got into it, it was amazing. So if you're not jazzed and it's not kind of going to plan, ask yourself, is there something else that I feel like my soul's calling me to do that I'm not doing? You know, and you know, it might just be that you're being pushed to do something else, but you're in resistance to that thing. Next question I've got for you is, what are you holding back in your launch or in what you're selling? Are you afraid to share all the goodness in advance of the thing it is that you're launching because you're worried then you won't have enough stuff to put in? So I'm talking about people who run programs or, you know, do some coaching, and you think, oh, well, if I tell them all this before they come and work with me, then they'll have nothing to say or there'll be nothing to talk about. So are you holding back the golden content? And if you are, let me reassure you that by giving it away for free in advance of what it is that you're offering, you will get people so excited, so electrified by it. They will be just wanting to go deeper. And what I can promise you for you is, if you're worried that, oh, well, I won't have enough content, you absolutely will. There's always more behind what we're offering. And when you go deep with it, and give away all that content in advance, give it away for free, there'll be so much more behind it. I promise you, this is the truth. It's been my experience. When I was launching Goddess, I felt like every single post was like, well, this is all the content. This is all I've got. But behind it, there was just more and more and more. So the more you put out for free on your page or wherever it is that you're promoting your stuff, the deeper you'll get to go with it. And then when people come into your paid program or do the work with you one-on-one and they exchange money, they're just going to get a deeper level. Plus, you're going to be taking them on a journey. So they don't get that journey on the front line. They don't get to ask you a million questions and really pick your brain. They don't get that backstage pass that they're going to get when they pay. So you know, and they don't get the experience and the group and the co-creation, if we're talking programs here mainly. They don't get all that. So you can give away heaps and heaps and heaps, and they will still get enormous value when they pay and come into the backstage with whatever it is that you're selling. Hopefully this is all making sense. Please do let me know. I'm not seeing comments, which could actually just be because Facebook has got a bit of a glitch where I sometimes just don't see the comments. So if you're leaving comments, sorry, I'm not seeing them. I will come back and check them after the live has been published. So next question is, okay, so we've gone through all those things. Next one is your audience ready for what it is that you're offering? Are you launching something and selling something that's in alignment with who the people are that are following you? And this is a tricky one, I'm finding, for myself and for some of my clients, because we're often, people working with me and where I'm at, I'm reinventing myself all the time. Like, I'm not static. I'm not April Mack, the business coach who'll teach you how to use Facebook and how to do lives, which is what I was maybe 6 months ago. I'm now moving into other programs where I'm teaching spiritual connection and, you know, finding out the truth of who you are. And of course, that's not what my audience is expecting of me. So I can't expect to get the same numbers of people from my current audience joining my programs if I keep reinventing myself. And so you've got to make a decision. Do you want to keep reinventing yourself and changing what it is you're offering to be in alignment, which I would highly recommend you do, but just know that your audience needs to catch up with that. And if you're being your authentic self and really sharing who you are, they will catch up. They will, and the right ones will keep coming, and there'll be more of those. And some of the ones that are like, yeah, no, she's not for me anymore, will drop away. And if you can get comfortable with that, that's going to be really helpful. So the question is your audience ready for it? Is really more for you to kind of understand what might be going on, and maybe they're not. And you've just got to decide, okay, am I cool with that? Am I just going to keep doing this because I feel so aligned? And allow time for your audience to catch up. So what might happen is, if you're doing a launch where the content feels totally perfect for you, the audience isn't getting it, you might just think, okay, well, I'm going to surrender that up, and I'm going to accept that not as many people as would normally buy my courses are going to jump in. And I'm going to relaunch it, and I'm just going to keep doing more of this stuff so that your audience will start to catch on and the right people will come in. That would be my suggestion, is that you just keep going and you accept that the launch itself was you rebranding yourself. It's invested time. It's time and effort well spent in re-educating your people what it is you do and how you do it. So that's the other kind of final piece I want to give you, is that no matter whether your launch succeeds or fails in your mind, like in terms of how many sales you get, all of it is valuable for a number of reasons. One, you're getting massive branding. If you're getting behind a launch and you're really sharing from your heart and your soul what it is you're here to do, people will start to understand who you are and what you're about, and that branding message will come through whether they buy it now or not. You're preparing them for down the track. You're also going to be helping people, of course. I've got a couple of notes on this. Also, the value in doing launches like this, you'll get to go deeper with the content, so you will embody what it is that you're teaching or sharing in a deeper way by going deep on your launch. So for me, when I started launching Goddess, I thought, who the fuck am I to be launching a program called Goddess and teaching people how to get in touch with their goddess? Like, I totally felt like a full fraud to start with, but at the same time, I knew it's what I was here to do. So I just went with it, and I became the goddess. I was embodying it more and more and more. It's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And now that I'm running it, it's getting deeper still. So it's you get so many benefits out of doing this kind of work and going deep with your sales. Next thing is, you'll get clearer. You'll get clearer on whether what you're doing is the right thing for you or not. So you might have heard me and others talk about, in the early stages of business, we're like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. This is an example of that. You are testing out your model or testing out your services, seeing if it's of interest and learning from that process. So you can get so much data, like who's commenting, who's following you, who's interested, who isn't. You can get bits and pieces about their demographics. You can see which posts work, which don't. You can see what price points work, what don't. So you can use the whole process as a data gathering exercise on top of everything else. That's huge value that you can't pay for that. That's like market research that, you know, if you tried to pay for it, it's really hard to get that data. So you can see the value in that as well. You'll also really get to learn about your audience. You'll see where they're at, what they like, what they don't like. And what I would say with that is try not, if possible, try not to just create things for your audience. Try and create from a place of that feels aligned for you, that you feel is like, this is what I'm here to do. If you create from that place, the audience, the right people will come to you. So rather than, so if I sat back and thought, okay, what do the people who follow me want or need? Then I might just keep creating business courses, and sure, that might make me money, but it hasn't felt aligned for me. It hasn't felt really powerful. It doesn't feel like what I'm here to do. So now I'm launching, you know, programs like Goddess. Another thing that's coming through is a masterclass, which is coming soon. I haven't got all the details, but it's coming, and it's called Unshakable. It's all about really getting solid, rock solid in trusting yourself and what you're here to do, and really being unshakable in that. So I'll be talking more about that as and when more detail comes. It's still literally floating around, but I just know it's something that needs to come down. So I just lost my train of thought then for a second. What was I saying? Yeah, about not creating what your audience wants, create what feels aligned. I think that for me has been a real unlocker in terms of, you know, feeling good about my business, like absolutely loving the shit out of it, as well as bringing to me, magnetizing the people who I really, really want to work with, who I feel soul aligned with. So if I just put out what I thought people wanted, it's going to keep me stuck in a particular realm, and I'm only going to attract more of those people. Whereas the more that I unleash the truth of who I am and what I'm here to do, then, you know, it feels just so much more exciting, so much better. And then the right people are coming. Soulmate clients, as they talk about. You can only get soulmate clients if you're doing your soul work, right? And speaking directly from your soul to theirs, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so that's my rant. I don't know if I was in wild. I think I might have been in wild mode. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Carly Marie, author of Soul Modes, has written a beautiful book that's fantastic for women around our different modes that we cycle through. And I think when I get on here and really want to do a live and I'm like, I've got to tell them all this stuff, it's usually when I'm in wild mode. Awesome, says Janie. Awesome. So I am seeing a couple of comments. So maybe you guys just haven't been very vocal today, which is totally fine. Or maybe you have been and I haven't seen your comments. So if so, I apologize for that. I will get back to them. And please, if you're watching on replay, do #replay. And if you're interested in what I'm doing and what's coming out next, then as I mentioned, I'm doing Unshakable. It's a masterclass, and that's all I know. And so I start, just so you know, for your own, you know, consideration for how you do stuff. This is how I do it. I get an idea, I get a name, I go get a photo of myself in a particular environment that feels right for that name, and I kind of get the gist of what it is I'm going to be offering, and then I start promoting it before it's even a thing. It's not even a thing yet. Like, I know that there's a masterclass coming called Unshakable. Beyond that, I don't know, but I'm talking about it. And hopefully the people who are like, yeah, that sounds interesting, oh, I want to see what that's about, you'll keep following, you'll keep hanging out to hear what it is. And as soon as I know, you'll be the first to know. And then you'll see me doing all the things that we've just talked about, banging on about it, bloody, you know, getting jazzed about it and keeping my energy up for it, not holding anything back, like giving as much, even though it's a masterclass I'll be selling, I'll still give you heaps of free content in advance of that to draw you in and to let myself go deeper with it. And is my audience ready for it? I think so. You'll show me whether you buy it or not, you know, and then I'll know whether you were or you weren't. But I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna get my spaghetti and swing it around the fucking room. and not throw it at the wall to see if it sticks. So that's just my one final last piece of gold that's been drawn down. This came from a conversation with a client earlier today. Some of us are people who get a lot of ideas and, you know, call them the spaghetti strands, right? Oh, I've got a piece of spaghetti here. Woo! Swing it around. If you don't throw it at the wall, you don't know if it's going to stick or not. And so people who get the ideas but don't take the action to throw the fucking thing at the wall are not going to know. Once you've thrown it at the wall, you'll know, is it a thing or is it not a thing, right? So you've got to throw it at the wall. Otherwise, you'll never know. And if it doesn't stick and it flops down to the floor, and that tells you it's not ready, right? That's what happens with spaghetti. If it's not ready, it flops down to the floor. And so you'll know then either it's not ready, your audience isn't ready, you're not ready, whatever, but you've at least given it a go, especially in that early stages when we're trying out new things. You've got to throw the fucker at the wall. I'm definitely in wild mode because I start to swear like anything. So yes, I'm definitely in wild mode. So for anyone who's offended by swearing, I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to finish on that note. Please do leave a message. Let me know if you're enjoying my lives and getting value. And I will see you online soon, no doubt. Lots of love to you. And please, yes, and the reason I say comment and let me know is because the more you guys do that, the more I can get my message out to as many people as who need to hear it. So please do that. Lots of love to you all. Take care. I'll see you online soon. If I can turn the fucking thing off.